Hello everyone, welcome to Makers Monday number 12. Come on in. I'm a little bit early. It's close to time. Let me take a peek on the computer. Get me in the right spot to see if anyone's out there. Throw me a like, say hi, let me know you're there so we can get started. I do have a technique tonight and things to share. Yay, somebody came on in. Terry. Hi, Terry. Says I can wave to you. I wonder if I can. I did wave. That's something new. Nice to find things that are new. How are you doing, Terry? I am so glad to be here. I missed everybody. Seems like it's been a long time since we did one of these. Somebody else just came on. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me who's here. I am eager to get back to crafting. I did craft while I was on my necessary road trip. I used up all of my... How many people have used up your share sunshine? Pumpkin people? Paper pumpkin people? I used mine up and now I'm ready to... The multi-purpose this was supposed to be is that then we can put things in it and send it to somebody. So my husband doesn't watch these. Shh, I think I'll send him a surprise. So that's probably what I'll use my box for. And I used up the last of my cards today too. That went quick. Even I use these up because I get busy with things. I wonder where everybody is, Terry. Sound the horn. Get them all in here. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. I'm hoping people come in. Oh, good. Sharon's in. Hey, Sharon. I wasn't so sure you'd be here. I thought you had something else to do, but I'm glad you're here. We got some things to talk about, and I am going to do a little bit of some technique, if we can get everybody on. We also are going to talk about Mary's party coming up, which will be fun. Hi, Cindy. We are also, just to keep talking until people show up, we are in the midst of bonus days. So that's great. Bonus Days is coordinating nicely with occurring during Mary's party. So the way Bonus Days works is they run this in July. Oh, you'll be gone next week, so you'll miss Mary's party. Oh, well, safe travel. But for every 50 you spend in July, and they ran this one last year too, you get a $5 coupon to use to spend in August. So anything that if you spend 50 before shipping and tax between now and August 3rd, you earn a $5 coupon code, and that is good to be used August 4th through 31st. So that's just a neat little promotion that people can do. I'm going to go ahead and get started with what I wanted to say. As people add in, they can catch up or they can watch it on a replay. So I'll talk about a few things, and then the techniques we're going to use today is I was working with, I had challenged everybody in the last live to use their dry brush panel I had made, if you got one, and I've made some cards from that. And in making them, I had to do a few techniques, so I thought I would share those. So that's the technique I'll show and tear down, or turn down. Hi, Mary. Thanks for coming in. We're just talking about the Bonus Days promotion that's going on right now. And that's a great thing because that coordinates with your party next Monday, your Makers Monday takeover. So the other stuff going on, I know that we all been using, if you're Paper Pumpkin people, we've been using our Summer Nights kits. I have used mine, or not, we haven't been using them. We've been talking about them. It's this July kit that's coming out next. So, and on the 1st of July, the add-on, the additional items that coordinated with it became available to purchase. And those started available on the 1st, and I helped a few people out and threw their orders in with mine. So it hasn't arrived yet. It's on its way. Hi, Sarah. So those additional add-on kits for the summer nights should be coming to me in the next day or so, and I will have Sharon, I got one for you because you said yes, and I got one for Renee, who can't be here tonight. I have an extra one. So if there was someone that wanted, a paper pumpkin person that didn't order yet, they're actually 24 extra envelopes and card bases to go along with the Summer Nights Paper Pumpkin Kit. I do have one extra. They're basically $10. So if you'd like that one, someone can speak up and I'll set that one aside for you. And if I see you at Mary's house, we can take care of it there. Sharon, I will find a way to get yours to you. But I just can't wait for that Summer Nights one to come. I used up this other one so fast. And I don't know if I showed this before, but if Sharon, I know you're into stamps. These were the stamps that are out right now for the U.S. Postal Service. And they really, really coordinate, because there's even a Ferris wheel in it, with the Summer Nights cards coming from Paper Pumpkin. So definitely you might want to grab some of those if you can find them at your local post office. Or I guess you can order their stamps online too if you don't want to go in or can't go in. And the one more thing I'll talk about before we do the technique today. Next week, I hope, if you haven't seen the event, let me know and I'll get you invited to it. But Mary, thank you, Mary, made my day a couple weeks ago and said she wanted to have a party. So we're going to go ahead and have our party. It's a Maker's Monday takeover. So it'll be next Monday. It starts at 7 though, and it's going to be at Mary's house. And I have all the information in an event. So I will make sure that if you didn't get the information, say something, I'll make sure it gets to you. But we're really looking forward to it. We're going to have a couple make and takes. And we're going to, Mary's got a nice area with several large tables. So we're going to be spaced out like we're supposed to be. And I know I've been traveling, so I do have my little mask here. So in person, I'll probably wear that since I'll be talking over people and leaning over people. So if you have one and need to wear it or feel better wearing it, that's fine. We will be spaced out as well, so we will be able to social distance, and I will be taking care of cleaning things in between use and moving them around so everyone can kind of keep their distance, which is what we need to do right now. So, but I'm looking forward to it, and I know Mary is, so we're going ahead with that, and that will be next Monday, 7 o'clock at Mary's house. So, and okay, we're ready for the technique. So if you weren't here when we began, I was talking about that I wanted to do something today. So I quickly remembered that last time we met, we all did the dry brush. We talked about the dry brush panel. So I challenged myself and you, if you got one, to create a card. So I made these cards. And I used the dry brush panel, as you can see, as part of it there. And I had two versions of this, and we'll talk about them when we're down, because it's kind of easier to see stuff when it's down. And hi, Tanya. But I used several things in here, and so we'll talk about it. This is what I did, and I'm going to demo the masking technique, which is covering part of something so you can stamp on top of it without stamping on top of it, if that makes any sense. And the other technique is, if you look at these, the little flowers are kind of raised a little bit on the edges. So kind of a little bit of curling. So I'll show you how you do that too. I think there's 3 techniques too I'm going to show you. I sponged, I don't know if you can see them, but there are those little doilies cut in half. So let's go ahead and turn down, and we can start working on the techniques to see what's going on. So stick with me. It's been a while. I got to remember what I'm doing. All right, let's go down, flip us back, flip us down, take it over. Here we go. Hang with me. There's a lot of things on the table. I want to show you some stuff. So talk amongst yourself like we always do here. I know some of you have been busy with your grandbabies. Some of you have had a lot of other things going on. Let me see if I can see what we're doing here. Hold on. Hold on. Where is the... I'll catch it. It should be here somewhere. I'm not gone. I'll be back. My computer's giving me fits tonight. I just had my IT guy over here helping me. And I had to feed him dinner, of course. But he fixed the problem. Okay, there we go. So I'm a little bit disjointed, but... Oh, let's turn off the volume, too. All right. My IT guy is my son, by the way. I don't give everybody dinner in this house. Oh, you know what's wrong today? I don't have my mic on, so I hope you can hear me okay. If not, say something. I don't know if I plug in the mic, I think it's going to disconnect us, so. Oh, you know what's wrong today? I don't have my mic on, so I hope you can hear me okay. All right. Okay, let's get to work. We need to pull this out and get it over because my camera's not where I want it to be. So hold on. That should help. All right, so where's the card? Here's the card. So let's just look at this one for now, and then we'll show this one later. So the first technique, I'm going to show a couple little things first. One is, if you look on the card, if I can get it where you can see it. Here we go. And I hope you can hear me. I apologize for not having the mic on today. But we talked about, this is something new in the catalog, and there are these doilies, little square doilies, square vellum doilies. So, and I just thought they were really neat. I think Sarah got some of these. But I thought it looked like a tablecloth, you know, like a doily. Like a lace doily, lace tablecloth. So I was trying to think of a way to put it on a table. So I thought about using the dry brush panel as if it was a table on this card. And then I would cut the doily triangularly in half to go over that. But I realized I would need to color the doily. So to color the doily, I used a sponge. And I use that new Magenta Madness color from the In Colors. So I just dab the sponge on that to get the color. I'm not going to do that here, but just to show you. So you can, to color your vellum doily, I just used some of the ink off of the ink pad and sponged it and did that. So, and that's how I got the color on the doily. And then I thought, well, man, you could use the doilies as a stencil even. Because I looked at the back of what I'd done, and, you know, every time we do something like this by mistake, you're like, gee, that would have made a neat card front. So there's another use for those square doilies. Is you can use, if you had that as like a card base, then you would have a really interesting, modern-looking design. So by mistake, I found something I liked. So that was one thing that I wanted to show, was how to put some color onto those doilies. Because they didn't show up, it wasn't, the white would be good, but it wasn't white, it was see-through. So when I originally put it on there, you really couldn't see it. So if you ink it, then you can see it on the card. So that's the first little technique. Just a little quickie. Get this out of the way and deal with that later. So, and the other one, and I forget, someone had asked me how you get the edges of the cards curled, or the edges of some of the die cut images curled up like that. And this is the not Thoughtful Blooms. This was the Basket of Blooms stamp set, which is in the new catalog. And it also comes with a punch, a matching punch. So I'm not sure if there's a bundle or not, but this is, I grabbed this because this was also out of the celebration, and then they kept it in the new annual catalog, so I wanted to make sure I got that to match my other stamp set, because it goes with, you can cut out two different little flowers there. I chose this one for this card. So after you stamp them and punch them out, what you end up with, if I can get everything in the right trajectory here, is you'll find that you end up with these little, you get your little flowers. I went ahead and did them a little bit ahead of time. And to try to speed this up, I don't think I can be speeded up that much though. So here's, I'd done some in black and white. Here's one, and I'd curled these. When they're little like this, if they were bigger, you could use the, this is your bone folder, is your tool you need. You could, if they were a bigger piece of paper, you could go like this with them to curl them, obviously. But that doesn't work when they're this small. So if you have a foam mat, this one's relatively thick. This is their Stampin' Pierce. Oh, come on off there, guys. They're spinning. So it's pretty thick. So I found if you put these littler ones right onto this, and then you could just start if you start pressing into them from the outer edge of the flower in, I don't know if you can see that, I think you can, then they start to curl up. And I found that for little flowers was easier. I don't know, Mary, I know you gave me that one beautiful card with the mason jar on the front, and your flowers had the edges curled just a little bit on there. You did a lot of neat techniques on that. But if you see, that's how you can curl the edges of your die cuts, and just simply by using a bone folder, which is a basic tool that you use in card making. So that's how I got the edges of the flowers to curl. Now, on to masking. I know some of you probably have done masking. That's how you can have an image and then it looks like the stamp is coming from behind it. You actually stamp the image that you want to be in the foreground first. You stamp a mask of it, cut it out, lay it over it, and then do the second stamp. So let's talk about that for a minute. I think those of you that came to my house for the March 1st event and worked on the tulip card, that had a small skinny mask piece that I had done on it where the leaf ends up behind the stem. If you look at the cards that I just made using the dry brush panel and the basket of blooms, you'll see that the basket, the primary image, I got all the different stems coming out of it. And some of those, you could tell that the stem, this is the stamp, I don't know if you can see, but it's longer than some of the times when you see it. So I had to use a mask of the basket to do that. And really, there's two ways to mask. You have to stamp your image onto a masking material. So one thing, there is official, we don't sell official masking material. There is, I know there's at least, this is masking material, not to promote other things, but we do not sell a masking material. So you can find, and it basically is a sticky tape, big roll of the sticky tape, just slightly sticky. But the slightly stickiness is actually the stickiness that you find on a Post-it note. So, in fact, I happen to have somewhere in my cupboards these Post-it notes. And what you want are full, if you're going to use Post-it notes, you want to get full stick Post-it notes, which means most of the entire back, there's got to be a little bit for there to lift up, but most of the back has that sticky on it. So, and that's what these ones are. So you can use that. A lot of people use Post-its for sticky notes. This one just had one edge of it that's not sticky, and the whole rest is sticky. So I did go ahead and do the basket as a mask, and then it fits over. But for this one, actually, you could just use the Post-it note itself, and we'll talk about that. I did cover it just for safety's sake, but you really didn't need to. But if you're making a mask, the one thing you need to do, which not everybody points out, and I learned this at Stamp-A-Way last year, is when you cut it out, which you see here where I cut it out from, you actually want to cut it out so that you're cutting out just within the image, so that when you're done cutting, you can see on the paper just the very outline of your image. Because if you don't, then the overlay will be too far overlaid, and then you'll end up with like a halo, a space in between the image you wanted behind the image you wanted in front. And it still might happen, and you might have to correct it a little, but for the most part, if you make sure that you make your mask just a hair smaller than the image, then you'll do fine. But for this instance, I found that you could just cover up with the Post-it. So I'll do a quick demo of that. Just go ahead and put your, I could lay this down, but actually once I did that, the stem of the flower went even further than the basket. So that wasn't good either. So I was double layering. But so you can do, if it's a straight image, you can simply take your sticky Post-it note, and you can see I've used this already. And you can reuse a mask for a while and put it over there. You want to know where the edge of your basket is, so maybe put it right there. Come on, you. I hope you can hear me, ladies. I can talk louder if it's not, but I can't even see what you're saying right now. So we'll just keep going. And then ink up your stamp and just reach out and say, I want one of those coming out of the basket that way. And then I want one of them coming out of the basket. I should have my Stampin' Pierce under me, but for now we'll just keep going. I think I went down here. I did. Want one coming this way. And then I put another one coming up out of it. This was fun to play with. I really liked this set. And I had one coming out of here. Just to show you, I'm not going to do them all. And I also went down and thought, I want that more full. And I just put some of the leaves down there. But anyway, you can keep going like that to your heart's content. And then when you lift off your mask, it looks like they're coming out of the basket. And that's, otherwise, if you try to just put it on there, you'd have a blend of both images together, and that wouldn't be good. So that's your basic masking technique. It's a real basic technique, and like I said, you just need some sort of paper with some sticky on it that you can hold over to create the image you want. And I also did it just to show you. I'm trying to find my Simply Chamois here. Give me 1 second. Otherwise, I'll end up with ink on something I don't want. But when I did these cards with that Sending Sunshine stamp set last week, they had a mask. I masked two ways. I did one where I just put a piece of paper over so I could ink the blue sky in, and then I actually created a mask of the large water area so that I could sponge in the sand. So, I mean, masks are helpful for a lot of different techniques and things that you might want to create in your cards. So let me get us turned back up again here. Oh, before I do that, I know we all try with this creative process, and I didn't follow any image. I just had this idea in my head that I wanted this basket of flowers to look like it was on a table with a doily, with a tablecloth. So I did this and completed, and I thought, yeah, that turned out okay. I thought, but then it's missing something. It's lacking something. It needs something more. And I decided, I should have made it with a card base that was colored. So I actually made two of these the same like that. Well, I cut it apart, and then I put it on the Magenta Madness card base instead. And it really just, makes a difference. So sometimes you can just keep playing with what you're trying to create and keep going, and it's every little thing makes a difference. So that's how that one ended up pink and the other one didn't. Right, here we go. Coming back up. Hold on, girls. Okay. I'm upside down. We'll fix it. There we go. Anyone still there? Oh, I got 7 of you. Yay. Let me see if I can see what you're saying. Hold on. Yeah, it's sort of like using masking tape. You're confused on the basket, Sarah. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. What was confusing? I can write some answers in later if you put down what you're confused about. It can be. Let me get a drink of water. It's I think you just have to work through it. So maybe we'll do some masking out at Mary's house. I think I definitely want to do some heat embossing. I still haven't figured out. I've got a couple days yet, Mary. I'll work on what I want. Or what you might want to have to help me with. So, what is next? Looking forward, of course, next is Mary's party, and we did talk about that. All right, I'll get back with you on that, Sarah, one-on-one, and we'll figure that out. So if you didn't see the information about, or if you need help figuring out where Mary's house is or anything about next week, we can get together and... Yay, someone noticed. I got new glasses. Oh, good, Mary. I'm glad you've got some heat guns. I think that'd be fun. I think a lot of people might. How many people have done heat embossing before? I think if you hadn't, it's a neat thing. And I oftentimes turn to it when I think, I just need, like on this card, I wanted more of a punch of color. So instead of having a white label with the sentiment on it, I used the colored label. And heat embossed on it, and it really pops. So yeah, and I was overdue for glasses. I should have had some. Tanya noticed my new glasses, but I was overdue 2 years for glasses. So I finally got glasses, and I figured, heck, since we're gonna have everything covered up from here down, I might as well have something fun to look at from there up. So. We probably have. Well, I guess if you let me sort out what we're gonna do, Terry. And I'll let everybody know. And if I announce what we're doing, that way, if you do have tools, that might be easier than having to worry about wiping things off to share. So it's nice that I have such women that are so crafty that they have some of these things. It'll make the class easy. It's challenging to come up with something fun for you, though. Another thing that's coming up that I want to talk about is they've already talked about the next paper pumpkin. And where did that go? I think I just wrote it down because I couldn't get into my computer with my tech issues that were solved not more than 20 minutes ago. The next paper pumpkin is to honor everyday heroes. So I think this is, I think they've probably gotten some of the ideas that they had on maybe their digital COVID stuff. But they've mentioned that they've mentioned teachers, doctors, hairdressers, nurses, delivery workers, cashiers, so just everyday heroes, and that this paper pumpkin kit would honor everyday heroes. So additional information I dug up was that it does have cards, 9 cards, and they're the normal A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that these stamps are going to be the distinctive stamps, INK in distinctive. And what those are, if you look in the catalog, certain of the stamp sets are called distinctive. And their images are kind of like a multi-layered. So when you stamp it, there are some things that are a little darker and lighter within the stamp image, instead of just being like a flat stamped image, like a sentiment stamp where all the contact is the same. So this next paper pumpkin will have some of those types of stamps in it. And it also mentioned that this next paper pumpkin will have a little bit of a masculine flavor to it, because I know a lot of times we don't think there's enough masculine stamps, although I think the new annual catalog had quite a few that looked that they could be used that way. And the other thing, and this is really exciting, and I should be getting my order, it should be coming this week, so I should have these to hand out, hopefully, at Mary's party, is, believe it or not, there's a new catalog about to come out. And it's gonna be active starting in the beginning of August. And I can show you the front cover. I can show you more when we're in person. But by regulation, I can only show the front cover. So the next mini catalog is already in the hands of the demonstrators, which would be me. And as hot as it's going to be this next week, we can start thinking about snow, Christmas in July maybe, but this is the image that I'm allowed to show. So I just got this, just found this when I came back. So I'm really excited. I really like, I didn't get it, and at the minute I didn't get it, put the order in, I thought, man, I really like these little bells here. I want, then are they bells? Yeah, they're little bells. I think I want that, like silver bells, and or gold, and you could use gold paper or silver paper. There was one with bows that I loved. So this is, and if you look at the front, and I didn't order that either, and I should have, over here, these pines, there's a whole In the Pines stamp set and dies. And I fell in love with that. Of course, I didn't get it yet. I'm bad that way, but that's, I think that's on my list too. So anyway, these were all the things that are coming up next. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm sorry I'm a little bit more disjointed than usual. Like I said, I was worried. He was a little late coming over, and I was worried. I was having a lot of tech issues because apparently there were some storms when I was away, and the power had gone out. And 2 of the routers in my house were fighting with each other, unbeknownst to me, and not letting any of us use our Wi-Fi very well. But it worked. We all got together. Thank you, thank you. This was Makers Monday number 12. I will post all the information of the items that I use like I normally do. There won't be a live Makers Monday next Monday, obviously, because we will be at Mary's house. How exciting is that? And so if we're out there at Mary's house, I can't be in here. But someone had asked me, will you broadcast live from out there? We will probably do a little live bit. Hi, Doris. We will do a little live bit from Mary's, but I don't think we'll be live the whole time. But since the party starts at 7, why don't we say that we'll try to do a little live vignette for those of you that didn't show. Or couldn't come, I didn't mean didn't show, but couldn't come, so you can see what's going on at the show. And this is good, Doris, you're reminding me, I forgot to mention, for Mary's party, those of you, I've talked about, contact me if you want information, or I know, Sharon, you said that you're not going to be here. For those of you that aren't here, I do have a host code already set up for Mary's party. So I think I already put it on my page where I normally have a host code listed, and I have it in Mary's event. I will also put this host code, it starts with an S and a 6. I will put this host code in the top information of this Makers Monday video so that you can find it there in case you can't be with us next Monday. But I really hope that a good number of you can be with us, because it's been too long since we've all seen each other. I don't even care if I have to have a mask on. It'd just be nice to see people. But that's it for tonight. Thank you all again. Stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next Monday. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye. Let's not